Hello everyone and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. Today's video we're going to talk getting started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar, and today we're taking a look at the Ogor Mawtribes, and in particular, the Underguts Mawtribe subfaction from the army. In this video, we're going to go through, talk about the rules for the Underguts Mawtribe in specifics, and then we'll take a look at a couple of units we recommend for getting started with for your Underguts Mawtribe army. We'll then take a look at some other units we recommend for getting started with after those first couple initiative purchases, and then finally we'll finish off the video with a little sample army list of 1,000 points for you to use as some inspiration for starting your own Underguts Mawtribe army for Warhammer Age of Sigmar. And so, the ability we get for Underguts Mawtribe is pretty simple. We improve the rend characteristic of missile weapons used by friendly lead belchers and iron blasters from our Underguts army by 1. This is just pretty sweet straight over, going to give some extra rend, increasing our shooting potential with the army. And so, to get started with the army, I think a general that's going to be a little bit useful for the army is the Blood Pelt Hunter. Now, the Blood Pelt Hunter is a ranged hero for the most part. He can fight in combat. He's still an ogre, of course. So, he's got his Skull Shatter crossbow, 18-inch range, 2 attacks, 4s, 3s, rend 1, damage D3. However, if he ever is targeting a monster, it's just a flat 3 damage, and his Impaling Spear is 12-inch range, 1 attack, 4s and 2s, rend 2, damage D6, though if he's ever targeting a monster, it's damage 6. On top of this, at the end of the opponent's move phase, if this unit is more than 9-inch or more enemy units, it can make a normal move, and his Hidden Predator allows him to not be visible to enemy units while he's in cover. So some pretty cool rules there for a really useful hero that, provides some extra shooting and just sort of goes with everything else. He's also a Gutbuster unit, which means he unlocks the unit we're going to talk about next. Lead Belchers have, in this particular subfaction, rend 2 on their attacks, with their Lead Belcher guns, which put out D3 shots or 2D3 shots if they haven't moved. They've got 4s and 3s to hit, and they are only damage 1, but this can be quite a decent amount of shooting coming out of a unit if it's chosen not to move. Now, that 18-inch range as well is just going to allow them to sit back and do some shooting. Now, they do have 2-inch range with their bludgeoning blows in combat, and rend 1 damage 2. They are hitting you with a cannon after all. And so, where to go next? First of all, Iron Blasters. They're the other unit that's going to get upgraded with its rend in our subfaction. So, an Iron Blaster is going to have a range of 30-inch on its solid shot cannonball. This is going to have 2 attacks and will be D3 plus 3 damage. It'll hit on a 4, wound on a 2, and normally they're rend 2, but it will be rend 3 in this particular subfaction. You can also choose to do the Hail Shot, which is like a grape shot at closer range. This one only has a 12-inch range, but it is 10 attacks with damage 2 on 3s and 3s. Normally rend 1, though rend 2 at this instead. Now, looking at this particular subfaction, we do not generally have a lot of models because we're investing in shooting units which just are more expensive than other alternate options we have, like Gluttons in a normal ogre army. So having something like Nobblers, which are going to provide some really important screens for the army, I think is a really important part of the army. But looking into other ways, we can also bring in some distraction pieces and some debuffs and some protection from other ranged armies. I think Gorges are a really interesting option. They can start off the table and then come in from the board edges, providing us with, some backfield hitters that are going to maybe target enemy long-range units or other enemy artillery. And then you've got things like the Firebelly as well, which has access to a really interesting spell lord that does have some spells that are really great for defending against things that are going to try and outshoot us. And so here we have our sample army list for you. We're obviously playing in the Underguts subfaction. Now, no place for the weak is the Grand State Recon, trying to destroy battle line. It's a pretty good shout when you've got a lot of shooting in your force. You can generally do it. Triumph, we're actually not going to get one because we're a perfect 1,000 points in this list. Now, our leader is going to be the Blood Pelt Hunter, and he's going to be our general for the sheer purpose of we want lead belchers as battle line. Now, you could take a Tyrant, but I think the Blood Pelt Hunter provides us with a nice little bit of extra damage versus some monsters. He's also going to take the Deadly Aim command trait, where his to-hit characteristic on his missile weapons becomes a 2+ instead of 4+. For me, this just makes him really good at doing some extra damage to monsters. Now, alongside him, we're going to have a Firebelly, and the Firebelly is going to select a spell called Billowing Ash. It has a casting value of 6 and a range of 12 inch, and if successfully cast until the next hero phase, your next hero phase, that is, subtract 1 from hit rolls from attacks that target friendly units while they're wholly within range of the caster. So really great for helping us castle up. He's also going to have the artifact for the army, which is going to be the Grizzly Trophy Rack, which provides an aura of 12 inch plus 1 to hit when we're targeting monsters or heroes. Now, into battle line, like I said, we want lead belchers, so 2 units of 4 lead belchers, and then some support in there for the Noblars of a unit of 20 of them, and a single Gorger. We then also have an Iron Blaster in the list. This is going to provide just some extra shooting. So we've got sort of our main sort of shooting force. The Bloodpelt Hunter and the Gorger can sort of move off on their own. And then we're going to have an endless spell in there called the Horrorghast. This is really great with a shooting army list because it can stop your opponent being able to use Inspiring Presence around it and actually causes extra models to flee. Really good for throwing into your opponent's army, then shooting them up around this particular endless spell. 81 wounds is pretty decent for this points value, and a lot of it is in the Noblars and those lead belchers in the army, but also 1 drop as well, taking a battle regiment to ensure we can get to dictate who's having the first turn in the game. If you've got some ideas for an Underguts army, let us know down in the comments below. And so that's the end of the video. We hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, why don't you drop a comment down below letting us know what you enjoyed about the video. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Cinderful Gaming, you can do so by joining our Discord server, which is linked down in the video's description. Also linked down in the video's description are the best ways to help support the channel, which is our Patreon and YouTube members. As Patreon and YouTube members, you'll get to help decide what content the channel focuses on when we're not focusing on new releases, and you'll also get your name shouted out at the end of the video. So a special thanks to all our Patreons: Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lyle, Outer and Shot First, Andrew Bowen, Nathan Fee, The Rising Ape, Q Dynamic, Anthony B, JJ Austrian, Average Wargamer, Domir, Mark Harvey, James Cater, Bloobs, Benjamin Suarez, Redman, Aaron DeHaven, and Kevin Bowman. And to our YouTube members as well: Green Roots Gaming, Kenton Young, Ronya, Lock, The Johnny84, David Ellsworth, Wolfric Nick, Broken Chef, Ariana Edwards, Revenar, Pink Nico Fire, Robin Man Killer, Monty's Tabletop Terrain, John Castle, Davis Weir, and James South. Lastly, if you'd also like to help support the channel in another way, you can do so by grabbing some channel merch off either our Teespring store or off our Ko-fi store, both of which, as well as the Patreon and YouTube members, are linked in the video's description. Once again, thank you all for watching. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.